Art has played an important role in our village for over 50 years. Our community has supported thousands of artists with the construction of Clubhouse 4 in the last 10 years alone. Clubhouse 4 has had tens of thousands of visits by artists in our community. We want to take you behind the scenes and help you understand what it is like to be an artist in Laguna Woods. Hi, I'm Sandy O'Connor. Welcome to the Laguna Beach Festival of the Arts, one of the most fantastic art places in the world, and you're going to learn about it today, and you're going to meet some really wonderful artists who live in Laguna Woods, and they're going to tell you all about their art and how they came to have that artistic desire. So we're anxious to move on and tell you more about it, and here we go. Now we're with Lloyd Walter, a man who's been doing this for 55 years. I love what you do. It's beautiful wood. Tell us how you do it. Tell us where you find this wood.
The wood's mostly found wood. It's a backyard tree went down, a construction site, an orchard that lost some trees, and I'm going to the dump, and I was able to salvage some of it. There are different kinds of trees. I'm in Laguna Woods now, and I've got 8 different kinds of wood that I use regularly, and I enjoy it very much. A lot of rich variation in color and texture. It pleases me.
And have you been doing this all these 55 years, or were you doing other types of woodwork?
Like most of the boys my age, I had industrial arts in high school, wood shop, and learned the basics. And then through the years, I've been a practical woodworker, build the shelf, do the addition. But 16 years ago, I ran across some woodworkers in the mall showing off their stuff, and I thought I could do that. I went out and bought a cheap $280 lathe. I thought I'd give it away if I didn't like it, and I guess I liked it because I bought a good lathe in a couple of years, and so I've been concentrating on wood turning ever since.
And so what gives you the greatest pleasure when you're creating this?
The creativity, this solving the problems you start, and been kind of a functional wood worker anyway. You get up in the morning, and I'm in the wood shop now in Laguna Woods. It's open at 8 o'clock every day, and so I get to go there when I can make it and solve the day.
So is there anything that you would like to do differently, or anything you want to do more of at this point?
Oh, within the woodworking, there are a lot of different things I would like to do. I've pondered about doing, but I'm too old to do a whole lot of different things now, so I just concentrate on the wood turning.
And you also are fortunate to have your work in galleries.
And in some galleries, I've got an internet store, and that's been useful. Galleries are kind of going downhill right now, but
why do you think that is?
They are suffering from the economy, and they're just not making enough money, and so a lot of them have been closing.
So do you find you sell more of your work when it's all person to person, when you're talking to the people and telling them about how you do it and how it becomes what it is?
I haven't had that opportunity except here as people come up to the booths here. I've been here last year, and this is my second year, and that's been useful.
What is it like to market your wares here?
Oh, I enjoy it. A lot of people come by and ask questions and ask how I do it and that sort of thing. And I just like talking with people, and so I explain what I do and how I do it. And then once in a while, somebody is really interested in buying something, and we go into a little more detail. It's a pleasure. It fills out the day.
And I know that the first time I saw you was at Bonanza in Laguna Woods, which is a big festival they do every year. And that's where I was just blown away by your art. So you participate in that every year?
It's a way of all the people working in the different shops to sell some of their stuff. And they advertise, and so a number of people come by, and it's a good outlet.
So we have this wonderful facility called Clubhouse 4, which is all of the artistic creativity in the world there, it seems.
Yeah.
And so you have this huge woodworking shop there. And how has that helped you? Because did you know about it before you moved in?
When we contemplated moving here, that's one of the things we checked out and investigated. And my wife told the realtor to let me look around, not hurry me out of there, because she knew I was interested in the wood. And when we moved, I had to sell my shop and all my stuff. But 5,000 square foot wood shop, I didn't suffer. And it's all kinds of woodworking equipment, including 3 lathes.
So everything is there for you, and,
Yes.
and you can just go there whenever you want and
Yes.
create whenever you want.
And I'm there almost every day.
You are.
So it's good.
I love that you really are that intense about it after all these years. Sometimes our interest fades a little, but yours hasn't.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I think I've got 9 or 10 years left.
At least.
At least. And I know I was so impressed with what you did that I bought a piece of your work for friends of mine who are artists. And the minute they saw it, they were totally blown away. They were so impressed because it was something they had never seen before. Sure. And they're artists, and they're seeing a lot of things around all the shows that they're participating in. So that says a lot about what you do.
So, yeah. Yeah, I enjoy it too, and it's a good thing, good outlet, and there's a lot of creativity, a lot of problem solving, and gives me a chance to fill my day a whole lot better than television.
I just have to share with you one of my favorite pieces that Lloyd has made, and it's right here. And it's just, I think the reason it fascinates me is that it's so not totally structured. I mean, it's just it's almost as if it happened all by itself. And so he has every kind of piece that you can choose from. He has some that are very smooth, and he has some that have all of these wonderful rough cuts in it. And to me, that's what makes it so unusual, and it makes it a piece of art rather than just a functional piece. Although some of these pieces are definitely functional, but it's more about these type of pieces that you would want to put it in a special place in your home, and you would just want to be able to look at it and have others look at it and admire it. So we want you to know where to find Lloyd when you come to the Festival of the Arts. When you enter the gate, to your left, you're going to see the gift shop, and then right up the stairs to the right, in the number 10 booth, is Lloyd's work. And so it could be the very first thing you see when you come here. We hope you'll visit him and talk with him. He has so much history to tell you about. Hi, I'm here with artist Richard Moran, and you're going to see some of his beautiful artwork, something that is so unusual that he has created, and find out how he creates it. So let's meet Richard. Good morning.
Hi, Sandy. How are you?
Great. So tell us how, I know a little bit about you. You have a strong architectural background. You're a conceptualist. I mean, you create the ideas, you have the architects do it. So how did that work with creating all this beautiful art?
Well, basically, it's pretty much along the same lines. I love to conceptualize, and I love to create new forms and actually integrate forms that I've seen elsewhere. So in the long run, basically, these are things that I've experienced in my past, I believe, as far as the shapes are concerned. And I always try to take it another step further. So I'm really looking at what can I do each time to be a progressive step, to step forward. So my work basically is really an experiment in every stage, so each piece is separate. Each piece is, in fact, a new piece, a new style. So
Then how are you actually doing it? How are you actually making this piece of art?
well, what I'm doing is actually trying to use natural clays, which will be separate or different colors. And I take each of the colors and create a layer, or I can actually laminate and create multiple layers that I then coil. So I'm actually creating all of these little lines and pieces. They're all actually like an organic jigsaw puzzle. So in fact, it is an organic representation of ancient processes that were done for years.
And the colors are interesting too. I mean, you have.
Oh, right.
How does that happen?
Okay, well, this is a raku process, so that we actually get involved with using a copper oxide glaze on the same materials. What happens in this process is you're able to take out the piece at 2,000 degrees out of the kiln and putting it in a reduction chamber. You end up with basically a different atmosphere within that container, and it breaks down the copper oxide into oxygen and copper, takes out the oxygen, and you're left with a thin sheet of copper, which is a gorgeous color range.
Beautiful.
Anything from silver, gold, to red, blue.
Absolutely fantastic. And this is always a difficult question to answer, but do you have a favorite piece?
Oh, I don't. They're all my babies, and I love each and every one of them. So it's just a continual process of trying to create something different and something newer or another step forward.
Have you ever held on to a piece because you just couldn't imagine having someone own it and you wanted it?
Yes, I have several of those at home. So
I know that feeling.
they're really hard to deal with. But there comes a time, I guess, when you have to house clean occasionally.
That's great. So I know that your wife is also an artist.
Right.
So that must be fun because you're all both in a real creative process together. So that's a wonderful thing.
That's right. We're partners, and she takes part in almost everything that we do. So she's a very talented lady on her own right. She's a writer and also an artist. So it's always a lot of fun. It's never a dull moment.
Lots to talk about, for
Right.
sure. Lots to share, right?
Exactly.
And that's a big advantage, right?
Right, and she actually takes part here as well. So she's my stand-in when I have to be somewhere else working or whatever.
I think the thing that will interest a lot of people is, what does this do for you as a creative individual? I mean, what does this process do for you as you make this art?
Well, basically for me, it's really a relaxation. It takes away all the stress that I have through my day job, and I'm able to incorporate it into these pieces and use that as an energy source for the design and the look of the piece. So at the end of the day, as I coil up each and every one of these little strips of clay, I've actually taken out my stress and put it into a stress skin shell structure. So it's really kind of a great trade-off for me.
Wonderful, wonderful process. And how much time do you spend doing that?
Well, each of these pieces now takes approximately 3 months to complete.
Whoa.
And this entire piece has to stay wet the entire time. So it has to be covered and basically contained, because once you let it dry out, it's no longer editable, so to speak. You can't change
it or do
it.
anything with it.
You can't add it. You can't make it happen. So at the end of 3 months, if it works out well in the kiln, we have a beauty.
Well, we
Another
think
bird.
it is beautiful, and we really thank you for being here and working with us on this wonderful place, and we wish you all kinds of future happiness with your art.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Here we are with our third Laguna Woods artist, Brian Giberson. And I know Brian. I've known Brian for years because in my little jewelry business, he was displaying art at some of the same art shows. And so it's really fun to be here with him and see also how his art has evolved. So I want Brian to tell you where he got the motivation for this and where he has come along the way, because he's done an awful lot of things prior to this. So tell us about it.
As Sandy was saying, I'm a mixed media artist, and mixed media, I think, is a person that's learned so many art disciplines they can't resist putting them all into one big pot. So in the 80s, I was doing illustration. In the 90s, I did computer graphics and digital art. In the 2000s, I did jewelry, and that's when Sandy and I got to know each other by doing shows. And then in 2000, I started doing large-scale mixed media paintings, and from that, I evolved into doing these totem shapes. So these totem shapes are made from a wide variety of materials. A lot of it is reclaimed wood, so it's wood from buildings, structures, fence posts, pieces of furniture. I occasionally use musical instruments, although I don't currently have any of those. But anything that has an interesting shape or texture, that's what's my starting point. When I make these, I take all the random bits and pieces, pull them together in the studio, and begin to create compositions that start to have a little bit of a narrative or a story that I find compelling. I anchor those pieces together and then add additional things that continue to tell that story. The next step for me is to add all these little textural elements and these kind of extra little imprints or carvings that I put in. From there, I do thin glazes of acrylic paints, multiple levels. So these are made with multiple layers of paint. I build up the paint slowly by doing thin glazes of acrylic paints. And I use acrylic paints much more like watercolors. I tend to thin it way, way down and use it much more like watercolors. And then by doing that, that allows them to look kind of old and rustic. I want these to, I call them totems, and I want them to look like there was something ancient and grand that's kind of fallen into ruin. I think of these as kind of house talismans or house jewelry. You put them in your house, hopefully with intention of building, having an idea of what it represents to you. And I think that's a beautiful way of creating art that's a little more meaningful for people.
So tell me more about how Clubhouse 4, where all you wonderful artists practically live, how it's really enhanced your ability to do your art.
Well, I see Clubhouse 4 as a gem in the community. My hat's off to the community planners and the current and past board of directors for creating such a vivid, vital place for people who want to live vital, creative lives, to create work and to give us all these amazing tools at our disposal. It's really fabulous. If you have lived a creative life and want to continue doing that, it's an amazing place to use these great tools. If you had to put a creative life on hold, as life happens with a lot of people, it's a great place to come back and reconnect with a creative life. And for those of you that have never tried anything creative before, but you think you have that spark, my feeling is get out there and do it. There's nothing to lose. It's all for your personal development. It doesn't have to be something that you judge and compare to a professional artist. Get out there and express yourself, and you may reconnect with a part of yourself that you never knew existed.
I got so excited when you talked about that because I think some people have done that. They have all of a sudden said, I think I could try this art form, whatever it would be, because there's so many available. And maybe I've never done it, or maybe I've just done it a little bit in my life. And I think that's the beauty of the facility, is that they can come in and they can start to create. Because I talked to a lot of people that said, I haven't done this in years, or I never did this. And I went to this class and I learned how to do this art, and now I am having the best time of my life. We want to make sure that you see Brian's art when you're here. So he's very close to the entertainment venue where they have many things going on. But if you just look for booth 117, you're going to see his wonderful art and talk to Brian. Now we're going to find out all the ins and outs about the Festival of the Arts. And fortunately for us, we have Sharby, who's the marketing and PR person, the person here who knows it all. And she's been here for over 20
years.
So I'm going to let you take off, and if I
You don't want to ask me any in and out questions?
Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that, but I think you can begin by telling us, how is it that you feel about being here after all these years and seeing all the changes that have gone on?
Well, I absolutely love being here at the Festival of Arts, and believe me, it has changed over these past 20 years. One major change, if you come and visit us, is the grounds itself. We just went through a $10.5 million renovation, and it is spectacular, and I'm inviting everyone to come down and check it out. It is a beautiful showcase for 140 artists whose work can be seen, and everything that you see at the Festival of Arts is available for purchase.
One of the things that impressed me is you make it easier for the artists to participate. This is a long haul. I mean, this is July and August.
It is. It's 2 months. Once you're juried in the art show, it is probably one of the best opportunities that's out there for the artist of Orange County. And I will say, to be juried into the Festival of Arts, it is a real honor. It is kind of like the best of the best here at the Festival of Arts showcasing their work. But it all begins in October, actually, when you have to submit your application. There's two actually jurying process. Our first jurying process is you submit images of your artwork online in October, and then those are reviewed. And then if you get past that jurying process, then you go into what is called a physical jurying process, and that's typically at the start of the year in January, in which you then physically bring in your artwork for the jurors to take a look at. And then if you're lucky enough to be selected, you get to come out here to the Festival of Arts and showcase your work beginning in July.
I love it. And I understand you take care of a lot of the things for them, the lighting and that type of thing that makes it easier for them. I mean, because it is a big challenge to do all this and to be here for this length of time. And that sort of excited me to hear that. Also, we have a lot of artists in Laguna Woods, some who've been doing art all their life, some who've just become artists, but some of them are highly qualified. So what would you say to them?
I would say to them to be sure to go online and apply. Apply. If you don't apply, you don't know, you can't get in. So, and our first application process, as I said, is in October. So go online, download the application, and submit your artwork and see what happens from there. And what we do here, and we have done it since 1932, is to provide a wonderful space for our artists to showcase their work. So we provide the space and we add in the framework, and they actually build their own booth. So when you look around at the art show, when you come and visit, you will see that each booth is very unique to that particular artist. They're putting their own touch on it, and that's what's so magical about our art show. You won't find one booth that looks alike. You have everything that's very unique, and the quality of the art here, you know it. It's spectacular.
Amazing. It's amazing.
It really is. And we have about, like I said, 140 artists, and every medium that you can possibly imagine. There's your traditional oil painting and acrylic painting. We have printmaking and sculpture. We even have jewelry and digital art. So there is something for everyone to take a look at, and remember, everything's available for purchase.
The other thing that excited all of us who are doing this is that we have 3 of our artists here from Laguna Woods. They live and do their work in Laguna Woods at a wonderful facility that we have. And so for us, it was so exciting. And we know there's more there too. So, but the other thing I wanted to touch on a little bit was how the Pageant of the Masters works with all of this, because I've been here, I know, but I'd like them to know how it works and why they should come here to be a part of all this.
Well, here at the Fest Arts, we have 2 shows that are going on, really. So it's the Fine Art Show, which has all the entertainment and music and our 140 artists, and then our nighttime show, which is the Pageant of the Masters. And that's kind of hard to put in words, but basically what we do is we dress up people to look like famous works of art. We put them on stage with the magic of lighting, and they look just like these famous works of art that we're trying to create. And it's all accompanied by lovely orchestra music. A narrator is telling you a story about each piece that's being presented. All I have to say is you have to see it to believe it. There's nothing like it anywhere else in the world, only here in Laguna Beach. And you know what? Tickets are so reasonable. Start at $15. They're still available. You can go online and purchase tickets online, or you can call our 800 number and purchase tickets. And here's the really special thing. If you go to the Pageant of the Masters, that ticket is also a season pass to the art show. So hold on to your pageant ticket, and you can come in all summer long to see this wonderful artwork, to experience all our special events, or go and do a hands-on art project. So much to do.
And there is so much here. And the other thing that was so magical to me about the Pageant of the Masters was this wonderful amphitheater that you sit in, and there's never a bad night. And the things that you see above you and around the amphitheater, the artworks that they create, some of the sculptures that they do, that all of a sudden it's such a wow experience.
It is.
You know, you just cannot be a normal bystander. Your eyes keep getting bigger and bigger as you watch it. So I feel very blessed to have been here. We just want to get more people here. And that fact about the ticket is so great, because
Isn't that great?
I have mine. I'm holding on to it. I'm coming back.
That's like 2 shows for the price of 1. How about that? And you're right. It is magical to sit under the stars in our beautiful amphitheater. It seats about 2,600 people and experience that magic of the Pageant of the Masters.
The other thing that I'm really excited about is your new entertainment venue. And it's relatively new for me, because there's a few years that I didn't make it here, which is a shame. We were here for the pageant about 2 weeks ago, and the group that was performing was phenomenal. The place was just crowded with people that had brought their own picnics. And that's another wonderful thing, because you can bring your own
You can
picnic.
bring in your own picnic
Or you
and
can-
your own wine and everything. Or you can just purchase it here. We have 2 wonderful restaurants here. We have Tivoli Terrace, and we also have Gina's Al Fresco. You can purchase something, or you can bring in your own picnic and go on our green and enjoy the music. And we have entertainment every single night at 5:30 p.m. We have stepped up our entertainment.
Whoa.
They're fabulous. We also
Really
have
good.
all type of special events on Thursdays nights. I don't know if you were here on a Thursday night, but we have chocolate and wine pairings along
I've heard
with
about
the
it.
wonderful music. Now there's a little extra fee for the chocolate and wine pairing, but let me just tell you, well worth it. And then on Saturdays we have all type of special concerts. On Sundays we have a Salute to the Art series in which we're honoring other type of art forms. There's dance performances, there are literature readings, there's all type of wonderful other type of arts that you don't always think about, because after all, we are a festival of arts here. So
Right.
we're about theater, we're about the visual arts, we're about everything, and we want you to experience it all here.
And boy, it is just something that we love doing when we're here. But knowing what you know, what would you say, and you've said a lot about that, but what would you say to people that might be hesitating or not sure or not, why would I go there? Maybe maybe this art is just too expensive for me. What would you say to them?
Oh my goodness, I would say you just gotta come and check it out, and none of that is true. There's something for everyone here, for every single pocketbook. Perhaps you can't buy something right now, but you come enjoy the entertainment, come and talk to the artists, come learn about the art, come enjoy the pageant of the masters. As I said, there is something for everyone, and don't let anything hold you back. Sometimes I will say the traffic can be a little challenging here in the parking, but there's a lot of lots across the street for parking. We have parking up in Act 5, and you can take the free shuttle service right to our front door.
And if you come early, you don't have much of a problem. We came early to hear the music and had the most fabulous time, and then went in to see the pageant. It was an absolutely perfect night.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
So, okay, we're just about ready to say goodbye, but I don't even want to say goodbye because she's got me so invigorated all over again that I can't wait to get back here. So,
Good. I
right.
hope you come back.
Oh,
and
we
I
will.
hope you bring lots of friends.
And we have a lot of opportunity. We're fortunate. We have several events coming up this week that we'll be able to promote the Festival of the Arts.
And guess what? I'm going to give you some passes to give away.
Oh boy, you'll be happy you go to one of these events if you're going to get a free ticket to come here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Come and visit us.
Thank you. I'm here with Margot Flynn, and we're going to hear from Margot all the insider's tips on the Festival of the Arts, because Margot has been here probably half of her life in the last few years. She's here all the time, and I want her to tell you about all these wonderful things.
Thanks, Sandy. It's true, I have been coming here for about 15 years, and the easiest way to get here from Laguna Woods is to come by bus, number 89, or drive your car. There's parking available everywhere. If you're coming to the Pageant of the Masters, bring a blanket and some binoculars. It's a little chilly at night. And then, just before that though, you can have dinner. You can bring your picnic basket, your wine, a nice tablecloth, have a lovely little dinner before you go in. Or there's 2 restaurants here too that you might like to try. And during that time, there's going to be fabulous jazz concerts going on while you're having your picnic dinner. Please come by. It's a great evening. I've just got 3 more things to tell you about. The first one is our fashion show here. Several of the artists get a model, design an outfit for them made of recyclable materials. It's a big day here. The second one is our birthday bash. We're turning 85 years old. There'll be cake, there'll be music, things for the children. And last of all is a celebrity benefit. We're going to be having Herb Alpert and Lainey Hall, and a visit by Ryan Cranston. This is going to be another top evening. So you guys got to keep busy and get over here.